I was just wondering of what is the states that are liberal, states that are left, states that are conservative, states that are right. What how is their infrastructure? What's the difference in infrastructure in those states? What's the difference in the products are going to be, have they changed products if they've turned liberal? The production, has it changed? Has it grown? Has it decreased? Just wondering, all these states that have had them around. I mean, right now we know that California is a shithole, and hate to use that word on a video because it's there for however long I leave it up. But basically, that's all you hear about, is how people are defecating all over the streets. I mean, you don't hear about that in any... I mean, New York, I think they got alleys where people go out and party, and then they go into an alley and they take a dump, because I don't know if they don't have... Well, they got restrooms now. That's an old story I've heard back, when I was a kid, and I was like, I don't... they say don't go down an alley because of there might be some hoodlums in the alley. I'd not go down an alley because somebody took a dump in it. Who wants to step in human dung? But I mean, what's the difference in states? Since they've ramped up this leftist agenda in these states. What are the how is the infrastructure in these states? Because I realize there's that bridge, I think, that collapsed, and you can't go over it. I don't know if it's the same bridge that collapsed. There's one there. You go 35. I don't know if that's 30. Maybe that's 35 East. I-35 East in Minneapolis, where you can't go over a river bridge in a commercial vehicle. I don't even know if you can go in car. I don't know how it is, but I know you got to go around if you want to get from one side of if you're going up 35 and your drops on the other side, you'd have to go up 35 west instead of 30. You can't go across, can't make a shortcut. You have to go clear around 35 west to get to a drop. And I don't know if that's, I think they said I-35 west is the bridge that collapsed. Maybe it was. I'd have to look that up. But I know there's a bridge there, and why wouldn't they upgrade that bridge? If they got this many sports teams and they've just come to a halt. I mean, what's the agenda in different states? I'm not talking about anti-gun agenda. I'm not talking about abortion agendas. I'm talking about, what is the infrastructures like? What are they doing? Are they building better roads in liberal states? I'm not saying that they've already got, or they already had good roads in that state and they're just upkeeping. But is the upkeep in liberal states of infrastructure better than the conservative structure or conservative states? I don't know. It's nobody ever talks about this stuff. They just talk about stuff that doesn't really matter. Well, abortion matters, but that's what they talk about. It's like it shouldn't be. It should be the parents saying, hey, if you don't want to have kids, don't have sex. It's that simple. And then what you do, instead of having sex and wasting time with all the stuff that has to do with having sex, like whatever it takes, go shop. I don't know what, but anyway, instead of having sex, you could be building up like your skills and stuff in life, not just in the workplace. Because if you're thinking that, basically that's all they've got us doing now is working. It used to be a guy had a job 8 to 5, came home, whether first, second, or third shift, they had a 8 to 5 job, an 8-hour job, came home, they could support their family on that and live a modest life. But now you got to work 14 freaking hours or more, depending on where you live and what, you know, and it doesn't even depend on what kind of lifestyle you want. Some people, it takes that many hours just to freaking pay the bills. You know, some people say, you know, that are millionaires. Well, I work 100 hours a week. Yeah, but you're making $1 million every 6 months, you know. That's a lot different than not making $1 million in your whole freaking lifetime. Well, you might make $1 million in your lifetime. That's a lot of people don't understand it. Well, if you saved up every dollar of every year you worked, you know, never spending anything, and that's totally incomprehensible, because you have to pay bills, you have to tax, you have all this stupid stuff that the government keeps cutting in. Oh, they're making money. You know, they see these people starting to make money, and then they decide, well, you know, we're going to tax everybody because we see some people making money, so everybody's going to get taxed. And so it keeps creating this divide. These people that are making the money can pay the tax. Of course, they might be living in this fad where they're living a fad job or a fad lifestyle, and then the fad wears out. Like, I don't know if there's any YouTube creators that, you know, they've lost audience because they're just, you know, it's the same old stuff they're talking about all the time. But if they've, you know, that's what I mean. It's like maybe they sold pet rocks and now the pet rock industry is gone. I mean, nobody buys pet rocks anymore. And that guy, you know, he made his millions, but now he burst into a lifestyle that he possibly couldn't afford. I'm not necessarily using the pet rocks, whoever made that up. I'm just using that as an example, but not necessarily, I have no idea what that guy's done as far as his life. I'm just saying, they make a bunch of money and then they think, well, I'm going to buy a big house in this area and live a lavish lifestyle, because, man, I'm making it high on this, what they think is going to last. I don't know if they think it's going to last forever or not. I don't know if these people with fad ideas that make millions think it's going to last, you know, longer than it does, or what. Anyway, then they buy this stuff that they can't afford, and whether, you know, and then the taxes take it, and then they have to sell it, and they're right back where they started, instead of just saying, well, yeah. That's the problem with business nowadays. A lot of this, I should probably do a different video on this. In fact, I think I will. But I'm just wondering, you know, how are these states, is there with this fad agenda, you know, this socialist agenda? I'm calling it a fad agenda, because I don't think it's going to last. I think these people that these homos and stuff that got their rights, I mean, that's where it all came from. As soon as they got their rights, the socialist, communist, give us free money agenda popped up. Maybe that was what follows. Maybe that's what the stick in their butt is about. All the homos think, well, I got a guy, somebody who loves me, but basically a stick in the butt from somebody that wants free money and free stuff from the government. And I don't know any government. In fact, I think that's what Mexico and all these countries are doing, is all these people they're getting rid of that don't want to work in their country. You know, they'll come here, but they don't want to work in their country because maybe it's depressing working in a country that has nothing to offer. Lets criminals run rampant, controlling the citizenry or controlling whole towns and governments. I mean, how many cocaine lords are down there controlling, you know, maybe a governor, or one guy was a president or something like that. He was part of a cartel, or I don't know what it was. I don't pay attention to other countries, although other countries pay attention. I guess if there's another country, you know, I kind of pay attention to China and Russia because they're at the level of the U.S. But if they're, you know, I'm thinking everything else is like, or Germany and stuff like that, because they got their products, they try to put out a better product. But I don't pay attention to their government. You know, if it comes up, you know, if Putin was to be replaced, yeah, you hear about it. Unless these other countries poke their head up into the news and our news reports on them, then the U.S., everybody says, well, the U.S. doesn't know anything about anything else on the planet? Well, no, because the news, I mean, we'd have to, we got enough to do to try to live this lifestyle that the world thinks we're living. And I don't know how, I mean, there's another thing. How are other countries, you know, do you have to work, are you having to work, say if you was living in Germany, how many hours you got to work in Germany to live a normal lifestyle? I mean, that's kind of a socialist, or what is that? Is that still, I don't even, are they still nationalists? I think that stopped after Hitler, didn't it? Nationalism? I think there's socialism or some sort of neo-socialism where they claim it's, you know, the taxes are a reason they're high is because of a whole different reason. Because anyway, but it's, you know, this class divide that this country is, that's another thing. I got to do it. That's all I'm gonna say on this video, because I got a couple more videos I think I'll chat about, just trying to get chat going. I guess